Hello, hello, hello. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and I want to thank those that are coming in, those who may be seeing this as a restream, just verifying I can hear myself. So give me a second to. Yes, I can. Okay, good. So this is impromptu, as you know me to do. I've probably gotten out 4 videos today, and before I started the fifth one, I said, let me just take a break. It's good to be busy, but not so busy that you burn oneself out. Just verifying that I can still hear myself. Don't quite know who's here. I have sharing with my Facebook page. I always try to simulcast at the same time so I don't leave anyone out. As you can see from the subject, learning popular songs on the piano, so I'm not limiting it to just gospel. As you've been paying attention to a lot of my YouTube shorts, I've been delving into the R&B sound, and now I am going a little bit deeper into the outskirts of the jazz tunes, and I find that the jazz tunes are calming in a sense where they're not really a lot of chords that you need to put with it to make that tune sound the way that it was designed. So I want to skirt some of the YouTube copywriting things. I want to be able to talk about maybe give 15 seconds of just popular songs, and that can be any genre. There is no music that really should be off limits to any musician. It's all in your approach as to how you want to approach it and add it to what you currently do musically. So I'm not sure who's in the room yet. I forgot to ask if leave your name. We just again do some housekeeping. Please let me know. And your location. I always like to know who's visiting. I can't quite serve you anything other than conversation and some music. But if I know that you're here and your location, it helps me to know that how wide a reach I have. Most times I'll be blessed by someone from across the world, either Romania, Africa, Australia. I have a nice, there's a viewer who always seems to come in from Australia. I'm not sure the time down there now, and the different time distances away from the United States. Hey, how you doing, James from Canada? I believe I did a video highlighting your theme from Canada. I wanted to be because I've always was impressed by the actual chords from the song "Old Canada." Hopefully, I did not uh, embarrass myself and play it incorrectly. I didn't play it like a gospel song, but I tried to give it the actual majestic sound that it has, demonstrating that how songs from even national anthems from different countries, from a musician standpoint, it's good to learn them, so that it adds to your actual the context of how you're actually building your actual chord base. And since you're here, let me pull up my keyboard setting. See, I've got a different camera. Let me turn on some more lights so that you can see the keyboard. Oh, Canada. Again, always want to respect the writers of songs of different nationalities. I believe D flat. messed up on that. Sorry. Sorry about that. I was trying to remember the chord changes. It's a very beautifully sculpted song, and I probably started in the wrong key. It's like a hymn. As I say, musicians really should um, engulf their learning of music beyond the sound of gospel or playing for a church, because you're going to find that a lot of songs were written by musicians and by composers. Let's change my point of view. So I, as a, don't break up my stuff yet. As a musician who has learned every song that has been placed in front of him, uh, I take what's the word I want to use? I take pleasure in being able to uh, properly represent. I guess that's the word I want to use. Properly represent the sound created or written by an actual composer. Never having taken formal music lessons, I haven't been um, indoctrinated in you're always going to have this chord in this place, you're always going to have this melody in this place. But I could hear a melody, hear someone else's interpretation of it, and then envision in my mind, okay, I know where it's going, and I know how this musician or this presentation of this song went that way. Follow that presentation and add a little bit here, take a little bit there. So, James, thanks you for giving me an opportunity to represent your country with your national anthem. I don't know a lot of them besides the American, the United States one, Star Spangled Banner, and I know the British one, God Save the Queen. That's God Save the Queen. How does that go? I forget how that. I have to pitch that one through my head. And I somewhat know the South African or one of the South African national anthems. I don't play it correctly, but I have probably 80% of it down. And can I do? I'm trying to think. Is that if that's the Italian one or the Spanish national anthem? So many songs have run through my head as a youngster, learning how to play the instrument, French horn. If we touched on some of those things, I have to run it through my head or go and pull up a video to hear what it sounds like. And then once I hear how the melody line is being supported by the chords, which are basically standard chords, then I can sort of adapt. Hey, thank you, Renee Payne. Um, and again, I love having these musician talks because it really gives me outside of an actual video where I'm concentrated on breaking down the song in a very way that it helps not only the beginner, the intermediate, but the advanced musician. Talking live, you get to hear what goes on in my head. As I said, I've done I think 4 or 5 videos. Rochester, hey, I did some driving up there. When I was working, they gave me an assignment in the Rochester area. Let's see, I believe it's 91 or was it 94 that cuts through Syracuse, Albany, Syracuse. Um, hey, Mr. Buck Brecker, if I can understand, you're from Germany. No, no, or at least the East Europe. I'll put it like that. I don't want to say that I know. But yes, Renee, I did get a chance to do some work when I was a technician for Fuji Films. They sent me up to Rochester to work. Long drive. I live 6 hours from where I live here in New Jersey. But I have been in your area, and I have some good friends who also live up there. So Germany. Do I know the German national anthem? No. Again, this is about learning popular songs on the piano. Let me see if I pull up. I want to pull up the German national anthem and see if, or the East. Well, gee, I don't know if you're from Germany. I shouldn't even make that designation. But from a music standpoint, I'm all about experimenting. I think you saw me today. My first attempt at recording Giant Steps. I've been practicing it for years, and I've been watching so many videos trying to teach Giant Steps. And I'm saying, gee, here I am. I teach people how to play gospel music. Let me go find jazz musicians who do what I do and see if they can help me learn Giant Steps. And came across one today where their presentation was the best one I've ever seen. It gave me a better understanding of where my left hand chords should be and my right hand chords when you start Giant Steps. Giant Steps starts off with an off chord, and then the rest of the chords fall in line. But that first chord would always throw me off until I looked at a video today of another gentleman teaching it, and I says, "Oh, wow, look at his approach." Again, because I'm about constantly learning things about gospel music and those who and being able to. I'll take the word teach out of it because I'm not a teacher. I'm an instructor. But how can I help to make the learning of gospel music easier, not quicker, but easier for those who entrust me with doing songs for them. So and it is a um, uh, let me get my words. Always try to choose the correct words. It's a tremendous feeling when you play something through that you've been practicing for years, and it sounds like you hear everybody else playing it who's at the level. Now, again, I'm not a jazz musician. I'll consider myself an accomplished church musician. I did my 46 years, and I was able to play any song that was presented to me to play, um, using, of course, elements of all types of music: big band, jazz, R&B. Again, borrowing chords from all different types of songs to help to give life to any song. Even as I say, I've been posting a lot of shorts, YouTube shorts about R&B chords because I've listened to a lot of songs and I say, gee, these guys are all using elements of these chords to, and they're getting a lot of views. Let me see if I were to give a different interpretation, put in a different key, start in a different place, add a different bass line from a keyboard standpoint, use one of the rhythms which was designed for R&B and see how it gets received. My highest shorts come from, or views from YouTube shorts come not from gospel, although my last gospel one did very well, but from the attempt to show what an R&B chord looks like. And I don't think I would be infringing on Stevie Wonder if I went to one of his songs. Let's change my scene. see. One of Stevie Wonder's songs was what is that song I was practicing? Oh, see what happens now. The song leaves my mind. I gotta play some of this. Not Ribbon in the Sky. Oh, I could do Isn't She Lovely? D. I'm hearing the chords in my head. Melody at top, lowest note, all the chords in the MIDI. G, D flat, G flat, into that B. I'm trying to see the chords in my head. Turn around. The microphone is blocking my keys. G, G. Probably the wrong key and everything. There was another song I was trying to get in my head and I lost it just that quick. And I think I did do an actual short on it too. But now I can't remember what it was. Sorry, just that quick. Unless I have it, if and music will do that to me. I will want to do something, and then unless I have it written in front of me or have a reference in front of me, I will forget what it is. You know what? Let me do this. I just pulled up on YouTube Stevie Wonder's songs, see if it'll pop in my head. Oh, Superstition. That's not the one I was thinking about. Trying to see what album may it have been on.
Top video marketers.
I can't have that playing. Nope, that's not giving me what I want to see. Oh, sorry about this, everyone, for those that are watching. I had that song in my mind and can't. Oh, that's the other one I did. Not this one, but this is.
those days. I would love to hear you play "Great Is Thy Faithfulness."
Hey, no problem. I am messing up trying to do R&B. Trying to see what key I want to put it in. Everybody does it in. Everyone does "Great Is Thy Faithfulness" in E flat. I like to try to put it down into a different key because that challenges my head to think faster in a different key. The jazz turned around. Telephone just ring in. Sorry, I'm listening to my answering machine. Something's happening in my town this weekend. Changing the chords. Kind of an impromptu way of approaching it. traditional first of all, and then as I said, when you're doing music, you want to be able to expand and to pull in all the different nuances that could possibly be added. I hope I gave you a good representation of it. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. This music is something that has been um, a part of my life since I was 8 years old and beginning to play the flute and learned row, row, row your boat. But as a youngster, I would listen to all the commercials and all of the cartoon theme music, and I would always want to be able to run to the piano and play it, and I couldn't, because even though I could retain the sound of the notes, I did not know how to find them on a keyboard. But when I began to be taught how to play music in the New York City public school system, they gave me my first insight as to reading notes on a piece of paper from basic songs. And you might say that's where everything started right there. My desire to give a good what's the word I want to use, um, replication, I guess, of what I could hear. So if I heard a note bad, then I would play the note bad until I heard it differently, and I go, okay. Even when I was playing there, I hit some notes wrong because I was in a different key, and I was thinking of what change is what I want to put in it. So of course I missed the correct note the first time. Second time around, I slowed down and says, okay, you missed this note the first time. Slow down because you know it's coming up again. Then I hit it. I hit it correctly for the key of D flat C sharp for those that like that terminology. But the playing popular songs, when you get a chance to hear songs that you don't normally play in church, um, they would always tell me, "Oh, those are the quote unquote devil's music. Those those rock songs." And I would go like I think what the Jackson Five back in my early days, or even who else was there? People complain we can't play those songs. Even those boogie woogie jazz tunes, you would get the frowns from the older mothers in the church whenever they would hear when they would hear the musicians just delving into it. Wish I can remember what that Stevie Wonder song was that I wanted to do. I'm looking over his songs to see if I can see it there. They're putting up his top 10 hits. I guess those are not it. Ah, you are the sunshine of my life. That's the one. Because of the very generic chords that are in there. Let's see if I can. Trying to hear the melody. The I'm in trying to find what key it's in. The change, just change. See, now I have to listen to it. Now I gotta listen to the song just so I can get the right chord, because I am messing it up. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. And I don't think you should be able to hear it. This way, I don't offend. I don't offend. I don't offend YouTube's copyrights. I play it a little low on my side so I can hear what I am messing up from it. All right, let's see. B. All right. Way off B. Mhm. Mhm. Boy. Getting that opening. Mhm. 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 B major. Mhm. Even I got to do the scales so that I can find the notes and then find the chords. Mhm. Mhm. Resolve. Mhm. Ah, there we go. Bass chords. Mhm. Mhm. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Half tones, half tones, half tones, half tones. Looking at the chords. Half tones.
Who joined? Hey, how you doing, Twinny? Austria, Europe.
How you doing? Trying to get these half tones in my head. There it is. I had it the first time I went. The first time I tried it, I had it good. Da, 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 da. Half tone, half tone, half tone, half tone. Look at the half tone. Look at the notes. Half tones. Look at the notes. Half the notes. There we go. I have to look at the notes at times too when I'm doing a song that I thought I knew, that I had practiced, and now
Because I'm sort of good now. Lots of love. You, sir.
I'm doing fine. Always trying to show you what happens when I'm not 100% locked in musically, that I even struggle with a song. But once I find the path that I actually instruct, which is scales, the melody, and then your block chords, which are this one is throwing me because I'm in a different key. Resolve G flat. There it is. What's that chord? There it is. Dum. There it is. G flat. No. C sharp, right? Now G. That's the struggle. Yeah, that's a Stevie Wonder song. I've been playing it in the wrong key or in the incorrect key tonight, and now that I'm live, I'm showing you how I fumble through a song, but I'm using my own theories of find the melody in the scale, then listen to the placement of chords, the highest note and the lowest note, which is the bass. Bum 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 bum. So I know that's the path of my bass. Then it's just the chords. No, minor. Yes. So for me, because it's a song that I don't play all the time, I can't just lock into it. So if I were to change the key real quick and say go to A major, I gotta do my scales. Again, this is not this is without sheet music. This is placing the chords visually in my head where they should go. Really? Yeah.
Even I need to practice.
A song that I am not used to, but because I'm trying to uh, immerse myself in the R&B world of music, I have to go and get the. I do have a 500-page jazz fake book there in my music books, which is supposed to help me get comfortable learning all the different chords. So when I change keys, I'll know if it's a and because it has the jazz notation, I got stuck on a lot of them until I learned what the jazz notation means. A little bit of O, this means a minor. It's a big O. It's a major. Well, when you didn't know that, I'm like, what? What chord are they talking about going there? So I'd have to go and now dig that book back out. Now that I'm a little more knowledgeable on the Nashville system, which would help with this song. Major, diminished. It's written in the Nashville system. See, when I'm lost, I get lost. But I need you to see that when I'm tearing apart a song for the first time, if it's in an off key, I have to actually immerse myself. Like I've got the video up. I didn't want to play it so I don't get another copyright notification. But I got a picture of in the key of B major what they were doing. Hmm. I always get lost. I should be able to feel these notes. Bam, bam, bam. Feel the note. Feel the major. Look at the scale. Major halftone scale. There it is. Halftone scale. Halftone scale. See the notes. See the notes. There it is. And I use that chord to turn into this chord. Mhm. Oh, let me stop messing that song up. If you got time, would you do Whiter Than Snow or Love Jesus by Trinity Choir? Whiter Than Snow. Whiter Than Snow by Trinity. Wait. Whiter Than Snow. Whiter Than Snow. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm not even on the right screen. Sorry about that. Now I'm on the right. I'm on the right screen. See, I got so locked into stopping, looking so bad, trying to figure out that song. I didn't have the right screen on, so I'm looking at your comment now. Whiter than snow. That the hymn? Is that the hymn? Whiter than snow. There's a 30-second delay, so if you type the comment, I'm looking to see if I missed it. Whiter than snow. If that's the hymn, let me check to see if it's in here. I'm not getting a reference. I'd have to hear it. Then the other one was the I Love Jesus by the Trinity Choir. Why am I getting noises out of my headset? Let me pull that up on YouTube because it does not ring a bell. Trinity Choir. I Love Jesus More Today. Is that the one? No, it's a choir song from the Trinity National Combined Choir. Yep, that's what I'm looking at now. Never heard of it, but again, that's what I do. Let me turn down my volume so I can listen to it. Let me hear what it's doing. D flat. And it's got jazz chords all in there. Hmm. Okay. I'm hearing chords from Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So yeah, the minute I began to hear those changes, I'm like, wait a minute, I know this tune. As I say, gospel has a way of borrowing chords. Nothing wrong with it. Let me see if I can pick up some more of this. right, so there's a lot happening. Hey, how you doing, Patricia? Glad to have you spending some time with us and here with me. So yeah, that I'm listening to the song and I'm hearing all the different changes. They really um, set a particular pattern, which is getting into the second part. Mhm. A lot of the traditional runs, but of course the songwriter has. I would have to listen to it over and over to lock into what's happening there. But the first part of the song, as I was listening to it, I said, "Okay, I hear jazz chords." Then I said, "Wait a minute, I know that pattern of chords. That's from somewhere over the rainbow." Oh, you've been trying to figure out why it sounds familiar again because I have listened to that particular tune over the years. It's locked into my head. Those are the songs that became a part of my psyche, and I had no way of figuring out the melody, especially the chords. And once you figure out the system that they build these songs on, you'll go to every song you've heard in the past and you go, oh, that's all they did. They changed one note to make it sound different than what another composer wrote. You know, I guess they say Mozart copied off of Beethoven, and Beethoven copied off of Stratowski. Whoever was the composer of the era, everybody else copied what they were doing. Welcome from Texas. Do I know any songs in that from that era, in that area? Again, we're talking about the whatever learning popular songs and being able to approach the same approach that I've been instructing and learning gospel songs can be applied to just about any song. I don't think Texas has a state song. I know New York has its Frank Sinatra song. It's all jazz. Start. I never played it before. I'm just hearing the notes. Anyway, anyway. Hey, Owen, how are you? D.C., Washington D.C. I don't know of any music from again. I because if I haven't had to learn songs, then I don't. But if it passed my listening as I'm going through songs, I often retain whatever I hear musically if it sparks my interest. What one can I do that won't give me a copyright strike? Can I do that? I'm trying to not to get a copyright strike. The theme from Star Wars has a lot of minors in it. Not gonna try. Now that I'm talking about it, I begin to lose where it is. Nope, that's not it. Lost it. Already it's gone. Nope, that's not it. I've already lost it. It's gone. I had it in my head, and I was gonna try and go to it when I practiced it. That's not what I wanted to do. Mm. Again, scales help me find these chords.
Welcome, Owen.
Yeah, that's why I I stop sometimes. And again, I think the last live that I had, I did get two copyright because I was actually playing songs in the background, and me playing the actual song from the YouTube to sort of break it down, and I thought I met the 15-second rule, whatever it is, and I did. But again, I don't mind it because, and I left that video up because I just want to be able to share music and the approach that I use to learning any song and how really everything is based off of one another different scale. I think I did do a live where I posted the many connotations of scales, with the Arabian scale and the Spanish scale and the Chinese scale. Let me see, Chinese scale is this I would have to pull up that image again, but it's based on fours. And you'll find that everybody is borrowing from taking pieces of different scales to create their songs. Of course, jazz has their own. There it is, the jazz scale. The minor blues scale. The gospel is all over that when they write their songs. But and again, I'm always about trying to not get better, but to get more affluent in anything musically, so that I can legitimately talk about it. When I did the talk on the Nashville number system, and then did the next one on the on the minor system, some Nashville players ran across my stream and they made some good comments and gave me some better understanding of the actual use of the actual Nashville scale, and I thank them for coming in. That's what I look for, the people who know, who are more knowledgeable on what I'm talking about. When I would hear, I'll stay like this. When I would hear other musicians talk to the number system, I go, okay, so if you're in the number system and this is your one, how do you know you want to do a minor in the one? Because they never say do a minor one. They will always say you're gonna play this in the one. And I'm like, okay, but how would they know if it's the minor or if it's a diminished, or if that's in the one? How would they know? And then when I delve into the Nashville system, I found out they have I want to say I want to say the correct word. They have a way of marking a chord. If it's going to be a major, it's got a large O in it. If it's going to be a minor, it has a small O, if I remember right. That's how you know the Nashville minor scale. Let me see. Oh, trying to remember. I did a course on this, and usually when I flush something out of my system, unless I go back into it, I'd have to look it up. There is a Nashville Nashville number system for the minor scale, so I made sure that I understood what I was talking about first before I began to approach it, because I always want to be correct. I may not be 100% right, but being correct, especially music-wise, gives me confidence that I'm not just, you know, breathing in oxygen, as you might say. Now I've got to go look up that last video that I did so that I can look at the Nashville number system. I always talk to this one. But now I got to remember how the minor scale went. I think that may have been it. It's all music. Did that a lot when I was a kid. Man from Uncle. Probably doing something wrong. Wow, it's been a long time since I played that one. Get Smart. Again, I would practice all of this because I wanted to be able to play it. Hearing some noise outside. I would just listen to anything I would hear, and I go run to the piano, find the notes, and see what scale they're using in G. Because I'm not jazz knowledgeable. If it was a jazz song, I'm struggling. Of course, if they were using gospel songs, what was it? Good Times. Good Time. Good Times. So when I would hit that, I could hear the actual gospel in it.
And it made no problem for me to go just sit there and play along with it. I'm sure you learn all the Bugs Bunny mouse.
Oh yeah. Roadrunner,
Of course, that one.
because that was Saturday morning. Gigantor. Gigantor. Um, there's always a classical theme in one of the roles in one of the Bugs Bunny movies when he's playing the piano. I think it's Moonlight Sonata. The Jeffersons. What was the Jeffersons? Trying to remember what the Jeffersons tune was. Don't remember the tune. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. There we go. 1 second. I had to play it a little bit. A flat. How do you work on speed?
depend upon the song. Usually, if it's a song that's a fast song, I learn the bass part on my left hand, and then my right hand, I'll do block chords or I will do scale runs. But it has to depend upon the song. Usually, let me pull up. I'm gonna pull up a sound patch that has a quick rhythm in it. Less comp. So this is less comp. Turn off the guitar. So let's pull up just a click. Now that's like jazz, but that's slow to be able to practice speed. So if I want to work on my best bass hand, that's what I would do. Just trying to get the bass note down. There it is. For accuracy. But now that's slow. I speed it up. Change key. Now that's at 300 beats per minute. I can go faster. Oh, that is the fastest. And the right hand has to be to do the same thing. It's just a matter of finding a pattern and staying with that pattern. Now the right hand is by itself, but the left hand knows to do this. Back to pattern. Change it up. Change. And go back to the pattern. And you've got to practice scales to be able to do this. And to be able to separate your mind from your left hand. Like I'm talking doing this. I generally don't talk because I'm thinking right hand chords. But now I'm just talking to everyone and thinking bass. Change up the bass. So, how do I build up speed? I practice fast. Start off slow first to get comfortable, and then, especially if it's going to be shouting music, then you want to be able to separate.
your left hand from your right hand, especially if it's on the keyboard. Now, if it was on the organ, I would have my foot pedals would be doing. I'm this fast on my feet on an actual Hammond organ because I practiced being able to do this with my left hand and my foot so I could give my hand a rest and work on chords. But yeah, that's and it all starts. Don't let anyone tell you that practicing scales is boring. It's what you practice. And how you practice. How you're going to practice it. And you involve both hands. It's all about committing your hand to it. You can talk while doing the bass part. Well, it's because I actually committed myself to my mind to not allowing myself to be distracted while I'm doing a bass part. Again, patterns, and I'll do the patterns in any particular key. There's no, I don't separate. If I'm in C, I know I'm in C, F, G, G. Messed up. Back to C, E, or D. The hand like to have help with the right hand. And they're all doing the same pattern. Every bass pattern that I use, especially for sharp music, it's the same pattern in each key. And it's like a scale exercise for me. It's like how I practice scales with both hands. A little loud. So whatever I practice on my right hand, the left hand has to be able to do the same thing, and that's just because I would commit myself. Now, of course, there's some things the left hand can't do. If I guess I was in the keys, I could probably do that. But it depends upon the song. Also, you got to do the intro to Amen. Remember that Shine on Me? Running through my head. Was it in D flat?
is. There's a chord change there. Wow. Songs I have not pulled out in years because there were changes that I know that's in the song. When I don't play it, my ears are saying you got to get that. Now you got that. Yeah, I think that is a part of it. Again, I absorb everything I hear. When I hear that it's also used in church, and a lot of your African American sitcoms always had a overtone or undertone music wise of church. Um, well, of course, no. Mm. Those were the days. Yes, you had to get that major and that minor in there. To the four. There it is. Well, because I always take the church approach. I'm sorry, I was getting a text on my phone. It's not to me. I always had in the back of my mind to be able to write songs for a off Broadway play. That's just thoughts. Let me look up the Whiter Than Snow by the Trinity Choir. Let me put you on mute for a second.
I'm looking and I don't see a Trinity Choir version on YouTube. I'm just scrolling down looking for one that says Trinity Choir. I see a lot of other choirs doing it as a hymn. How you doing, Micah? Welcome. Looking up a Trinity Choir, Whiter Than Snow. Oh, yeah, let me change. Maybe I got the wrong choir designation. Let's go. Oh, here it is. Whiter Than Snow. Put you on mute for a second. Sorry, I didn't want to have dead air. Okay, here we go. Now I can listen to it. All right, a whole different opening than I was expecting. It goes to that key. Let me see if I can get the next change.
So again, songwriters sometimes take liberties. Hmm. Yeah. Go back to here. Mm. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the change. Then back into here. Then come out of it. Well, because the lead is singing really two or three notes. So the chords really can't leave her. Until she leaves where her notes are, the chords have to hover. And then back up here. Yeah. Something I would have to really spend a lot more. Let me change my view. This is one of those songs where I would have to spend a lot of time just getting the timing, the correlation of the chord as it supports supports the choir member. Let me just listen some more. Mute this for a second. Yeah, okay, I left the song too early. They they came out of it with some basic chords. No, I'm not going to break that song down. As I say, I just wanted to be able to talk about learning popular songs. This song is from 10 years ago. At least that's when it was. No, 1981. Wow, that was back there. That was back there. Just looking at the dates on it. I'm just looking to see if I can. Because generally back in that day, my choir director or minister of music would pick a lot of songs for the choir to learn. This wasn't one of them. Back in the 80s, yeah, she was picking all the songs. But this one did not make my ears. Well, I've had a lot of people visiting, and I do appreciate that. One of my lights went out over the keyboard. The battery gave up on it. That's all right, though. The other two lights are bright enough. And I appreciate those who have come in and that have been communicating as I was fumbling through some songs, trying to show how popular songs can also be learned by church musicians because there's chords that you can borrow from those songs.
Thanks to Twinny, we went over some of the old time theme musics to some sitcoms, which brought back some memories. I played a couple of cartoon themes. I think we did the Roadrunner, which I always enjoyed listening to, and then finally learning on the piano. I think I did a little of. I didn't do um, Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. I used to know Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget theme song. Inspector Gadget. All those things I would listen to as a youngster, still in my head. Minor, minor to a jazz chord. Now I gotta find the chords. Wow. A mixture of jazz and classical. And with that, I think I will bring it to a close. All these songs that were a part of my listening life as a youngster, that I would just sit there and try to figure out how are they playing those notes. And now that I'm actually touching back on it, looking at the theme music that's here on YouTube, I'm like, oh, so it's done in A minor, goes to a B, and then it resolves to. Hey, it sounds like something Richard Smallwood would write. Well, again, it is the music that I often call is the correct way to play, because these are the actual composers who got this type of music, theme music, placed on cartoons that aired all over the world. So who better to learn music from than those that are the what I call professional musicians? I play for to meet a need from the church musician standpoint, and then I play so that I can learn more of music without having an actual formal teacher to show me, hey, this is how it's written out. If I were to take this song apart, I would play every chord that's written there perfectly and then write it out on paper, or now I can type it up, just so I can hear the changes correctly and then move on to something else. Forced to play in church as a youth, so I never practiced in free time. Maybe some John P. Key, mostly boys. Should this be something? Should have tried some of these intros then. Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong playing anything from John P. Key. His approach was urban. I won't call it jazz. Urban big band. I call his approach to music was the urban southern big band. I put it like that because he had a lot of um, quartet feel in his music, but all of his music had a life of its own. I think I did the viewer request of Show Up, and it was done in the key of G flat, but the viewer requested it in D flat, so I had to change my whole hearing from how I heard it on the actual YouTube video. In fact, I didn't even post the YouTube link because it would have thrown off everything that I was trying to show. But I had to now repitch everything in a different a non-natural key. But if you learned Jesus is real, if you learned Rain on Us, if you learned Standing in the Need, if you learned it's in the key of, what is that song? He'll Welcome Me, that real straight quartet sound, and you hear all that big band sound from his tremendous group of musicians that he uses in his songs. You learn, hey, how you doing, Thomas? You will learn that big fat sound that you actually hear me play. I pull back on a lot of chords on certain songs because they're not really called for. I know a lot of musicians now when they play keyboards, they layer two or three sounds to sound bigger than they are musically. I find that to be an actual turnoff musically because I want to hear, if you're playing a piano, I don't want to hear piano and strings and horns playing the exact same notes. They should be separated. Now, I can deal with piano and strings. I got used to doing that. But even then, I will turn off a layered sound because I want to hear piano. If I want to do strings, I'll turn the piano off and I'll do strings and then use strings in the manner in which an orchestral writing would do. Horns have their own writing. So when you put all that stuff together, yes, it sounds, exciting for that moment. But then if you actually hear an actual orchestration, you go, wait a minute. They're not all playing the same notes. It will be all right when I make it in that city. It will be all right. All right. All right. I'm trying to remember what key that was in. John P. Key music had you jumping out of your seat. I'm pulling it up on YouTube. John P. Key, it'll be all right. Excuse my stomach. I've got to go get me a snack. Let me hear it for a second.
All right, just refreshing myself on that song. Yes, you hang right there in those chords, that E minor chord. What's the question? I'll be waiting for that Whiter Than Snow video coming. As I always ask everyone to make it a comment in the on any video that I have, so that I can have a record of it. When I close down this live, your comment will actually disappear. Actually, let me just type it in. I have a special page where I type in all of my viewer requests. And usually when it's a song I've got to spend more than a half hour trying to learn, I don't jump on it right away because I have so many other videos which are faster to learn. I think there's 2 videos I actually have still tabled because it would take me so long to have to break them down. But since you are from across in Europe, I can break this down for you. Just typing in your name and Whiter Than Snow. I've just got to, first of all, turn my camera so I'm not looking at my side, on my back side, while I'm typing this in. That's where it is, right there. And that is the Trinity Church Choir. Okay, so you're on my list of viewer requests. I want to see how you approach the end section, and it will do as well. I always learn what's on the album first. That's what I always try to do, is to give the writer and the composer their due and teach it like that. I generally don't try to change much because I do realize no one plays like the album when you're in a live setting. But I always felt that it's always good to have the original to work from, and then you go with whatever happens when you do it live. But I'll go back.
Okay, so where they are.
doing the Whiter Than Snow. So yeah, that's that part when you work on your own. You basically just work with the choir and what they're doing because you know whether you know the path, and that's at the ending of the song like that. Why can I do it like that?
Oh, that's because I practice.
And I can switch from one scale to another scale.
And I know how to bridge my chords using the sustain pedal. Right to B flat, half tone. Again, from the You Are the Sunshine. Boom, 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 boom. I borrow every chord from any song that I learned because it will fit placed correctly. Because you know you're going to go here. Then get that. It's practice basically, and once you get it down, change my scene. Once you get it down in practice, right, then when you do it live, it feels that much better because you would have practiced all those intricate movements that you don't hear in the album. That's why I say it's always good to learn the album first and then bridge out from there. The minute I heard I listened to what they were doing, I'm going, okay, they're repeating this. They're doing what they're doing. Now, if I were there in that setting, this is what I would do. I would add these chords. I would add this change. I would flip it in this direction, just to give it um, another another listening ear. And I'm doing it from the piano. There's an organ there. There's a bass there. No strings, no horns. I didn't hear. So it's back in '81. They were just getting into bringing in horns into the recording. So this is still as pure as it could, be, like it being in an actual church, without all the all the fluff that we now have today. Back then, they weren't using tracks to start the song. So if it didn't start off correctly, they had to hold everybody, roll the tape back, as they say, and start it over again to try to get the beginning of the song correct. But yeah, that's I will put that on the list of songs I'm going to be. In fact, let me see. Where is that on my list? I think I've shown my list in the past. Let's see if it still comes up. Yeah, that's that's the list of songs. There you are at the bottom. I typed you in. The last two I did was How Great Thou Art in B flat and Oh How I Love Jesus in G. So you're the next song on when I start. Probably more than likely it's going to be not tonight. I'm not going to work on it, but I generally start my days at 7 o'clock because there is some medication that I take that has an effect on me. So I like to get that out of the way in the morning so that the afternoon I'm not under the effect of it. So I'll be able to listen to it while I'm doing what I'm doing medication wise, and then I'll be able to come downstairs and be a little bit more in tune with what the song does. But not a problem. Even as a retired church musician, I still like hearing choir songs with a lead where the musicians actually get a chance to actually support a lead singer and support a choir. Today it's a lot more musician friendly where they just choir follows the music. Back then the music followed the and supported the singers. So it'll be one that I will have a good time working on. Let me thank those who have come and spent some time with us. R. James from Canada, thank you for coming. Give me a chance to play the Canadian national anthem. Hopefully I didn't do it that bad. You said sounding good. Appreciate that. Buck Breaker from, I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but you're in Eastern Europe. Certainly glad for you coming and spending some time with us. 20, you are from Austria in Europe. Wow. You're up late there. Thank you for coming in. Who else? I want to make sure I missed anybody. I was doing so much talking. Patricia, you came from Texas. Owen from DC. I want to thank you for coming in. Who else we have? Don't want to miss anyone. I miss Kenmoy. How do you work on speed? Oh yes, you asked about the speed, and I was doing my left hand shouting technique that I do to keep the beat. Speed is all about accuracy. You don't want to go so fast that you're hitting the notes wrong, and you're basically messing up your actual muscle memory. So hopefully, Kenmoy, Ploy or Plorite. Hopefully, I answered your question. It's about accuracy. So you're going to find a pattern. I find scales is always a good pattern to work on, but if you do play the praise music, the shouting music, and you got a bass player, that's going to help underdevelop your left hand. Practice your left hand doing actual bass patterns. Hear them in your head, and then practice them the way that you would hear them in your head. And then at a slow speed, I would recommend 150 beats, and go up as far as 300 if you have an actual rhythm section in the keyboard you practice with, just to become accurate, and you'll find that your speed will basically take off on you, especially if you're not playing on, I'm playing on a weighted keyboard, so to see my hands move that quickly, still if I'm on an organ, my hands fly across an organ because there's no real resistance from those keys. Who else did I want to miss anybody? Micah, thanks you for coming in. And 20 has so many entries here. I got to scroll through. Brother Mitchell, thanks for coming by. I know you're celebrating your 20th anniversary weekend, I believe. And yes, it will be all right. I covered some of that. And I think that was everyone. Well, I live in Austria, but from Sacramento, California, more or less. All right. Well, appreciate you spending some time early morning there for you. I'm going to assume it's a Saturday early morning for you because it's a Friday evening here for me. But I do always appreciate you coming in, and I do appreciate you making your viewer request. The one thing about that I have instituted with every viewer request, I've always asked people to make the request off of a video so that others can see you making that request. And I've been answering the request so that it shows up on the video. because I want musicians to feel comfortable about asking for songs that they may not even know. This gives them a chance to come back to the channel and learn a song that they maybe did not have to learn, and now they're able to take that song to their particular ministry or choir that they're in. I think someone had a praise song, and how did I miss it? There was a praise song someone had, and I don't see it on the list. 'Cause I was thinking there was another song before you. I didn't post it. Oh, I know why I didn't. Because I went live tonight. That's why I didn't post it. I was going to try and touch on it based upon who came in. It's a basic praise song. Chords had the Nashville system in them, so it's not really a jumpy song, but it kind of stretched out chords. So I have to work on that one. In fact, let me just put that in to my I forgot the name of the song. Praise song in D flat. This way I don't leave them out. So again, thank you all for coming. As you can see, I'm wearing my logoed shirt. This is not the one that is now. This was the very first one I made. Even I didn't like this one, so I actually took it off the store and I went back into my design software and figured out how to make it without this shiny piece around it. But I still wear it because it is comfortable to wear, and it hides my weight in it. But you are welcome to visit the store. I know for those of you who live in Europe, I can't vouch for whether or not the shipping would get to you out there because I don't create it. It's created by another company here in the United States. But for those in the United States, if you would like to support what I'm doing, then you're well welcome to support either through purchasing some of the items that's in the store. They're actually some are actually logoed, some are created for other people, and I left them in the store. You see one that says organist, choir director. Those were special orders, and I just kept them in the store, thinking somebody else might want to be able to have that. But I can also create one for you. You can come to my email. Is my email in the chat? Not in the chat. I don't think my email is on any of my. I should put my email on there. Well, I can be reached from the message center there, and if I can, I'm not a top designer, but I can create a design that might be relative to what you do and place it in the store, and you can place your order from there. So I'm looking to bridge or to build on more than just teaching music, but um, creating a tangible content like a hoodie or a shirt, cups, things that you can use to help support the channel. I do have a Patreon page. I've been neglecting them the month of May, so I've got to do some work for them on tomorrow, where I post MIDI files. I post additional stuff that you don't see here on this page, and I also give a courtesy video request for those on my Patreon because they are supporting me with a $5 fee every month, to where the music I can't show here on YouTube because of I'll go to copyright infringement, I can do a separate video just to that person, and then they'll see me play that music and play along with it and show the chords. And I do that as a courtesy for the monthly support. Not everybody takes advantage of that, just one person does, but as I say, I try to meet the needs of musicians where they are, and if I can help in any kind of way and in support, that's what I do. So thank you all for spending some time with me. I've been growling over here, and I see I got my medicine. I missed 1 hour of taking this. That's okay. Um, as I was sharing with a good friend, we're all in the third or fourth quarter of our life, and I'm trying to extend mine into overtime. So I've got, and this is a good time to share with musicians. Go get your checkup. I've got my doctor checkup coming next week for colonoscopy. So I know that's coming up next week, just to make sure that on the inside everything is okay, so I can finish off my fourth quarter and go into overtime of life. So I'm sharing everything I possibly can while I can with everyone that I can. And I thank you for your support. Your viewing my videos helps to support my channel also, and I appreciate that. That being said, as I always say, if I don't stop talking, I won't say goodbye. So thank you all for coming, and I'll try to post in the community posts when I may be going live again. I always try to um, meet people when they are available. I think we have 5 currently watching. I'm not sure how many are still watching from my Facebook page because they're being simulcast there, but you know how to reach me there on Facebook also. And keep playing, keep practicing, and look to get better each time that you sit to your keyboard. Take care now, and thank you all for spending some time with me. Have a good night and a good morning wherever you are. Take care. Bye.